Hi everybody, this is Dr. Jonathan Kuttner. I'm going to look now at how stress affects your body. Stress is something that we have to cope with every day, and it has if there's too much of it, it can have incredibly important negative consequences on our body. And the way I'll look at it is I'll start at the top and work my way down. So stress may affect the functioning of your mind, and the commonest way is that it will create anxiety within you. Often a consequence, and something that dances with anxiety, will be depression. So stress may cause, as a secondary effect, depression, and with all of those you have fatigue. So these are three important things that can affect your whole being. As we move down, with your lungs, if you are in a state of chronic stress, you have the feeling that you can't breathe. It turns on your fight and flight response, and so something occurs which is called hyperventilation, where you start breathing deeper than you should because the stress is fooling you that you aren't getting enough breath. It can also affect your lungs in people who are asthmatic, and so stress can actually turn on an asthma attack. In the same area, your heart, well, that same feeling of fight and flight where you're feeling stressed, so you're inside your lizard brain saying, "Oh, we must escape." What it also does as part of that is that it starts, your heart needs to beat faster. So you become aware of palpitations, your heart beats faster, and if you're one of the people who gets funny heart rhythms, it can increase your risk of arrhythmias. These together, the increased adrenaline and the need to escape, can put up your blood pressure. If your blood pressure stays high, then you increase the risk of heart attacks, and you increase the risk of strokes. And you can see how all of these kind of dance together. And all of these are massive, massive diseases that affect the whole of the world. It can also affect your immune system. And your immune system means, once that's affected, it means that you will catch the flu. You'll become more ill. And in fact, when studies have been done, you see this incredibly clear correlation between periods of high stress and falling ill. And if you look at your life, you'd find that's very, very true. This increased adrenaline and fight and flight can affect your gut, and you can get irritable bowel syndrome, very, very common, and awful symptoms with bloating and increased pain. And it may also affect a very important part of our bodies is the reproductive system. In both men and women, chronic stress will reduce sexual desire. In men, it definitely reduces sexual function, so ability to have an erection actually goes when you're in a stressed state. And it reduces sperm counts, so reduces fertility. So it affects like just everything. So you can see that I've gone virtually from head to toe. Chronic stress affects us on so many different levels. This is why it is incredibly important to recognize it and then to learn the ways that you can, and there are many ways that are really effective to be able to cope with the stress in your life. Thank you.